What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Blerd It Out. One Piece is on break this week, so we're actually going to go on break as well. Now, we do have a few topics we'll discuss before we close it out, but what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up Season 2 with this episode. We're going to start Season 3 with next episode because I think we're going to be leaving Egghead pretty soon here. Plus, I got some new stuff I kind of want to try, so we're going to see with Season 3 how that works out. But if you want some more content, head over to the official Tyrant King Kuma channel. I did do an upload for the SBS. I talk about it a little bit here, but we'll talk about it there as well. As always, we're from our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in to Blerd It Out. Whether you're listening from YouTube on my channels like Tyrant King Kuma or Blerd It Out Podcast, or one of the many podcast sites like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more, I appreciate your support. If you want to listen to older episodes of the podcast, head on over to Patreon. If you join as a free member, you can watch all the old episodes from the old seasons for free. Plus, there'll be other content that didn't quite make it to an episode or on a YouTube video that you can check out there as well. Your support means the world. And if you have not caught up to the latest chapters, episodes, or content, please be warned there will be spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
Okay, so first things first, we have new SBS information. Now, I'm not going to do a big rundown of the SBS stuff because I actually made a video for it on the official channel. So the SBS part will be a little bit short here. The biggest thing I really got from the SBS was the reveal of that warlord that Ace defeated, Hanafuda. I think the idea behind that character can still be fleshed out. I want to see Oda do more with that. I think you can tie a lot of pieces together with that kind of information. Plus, it's really good lore. Like it's really good lore building. It's not something that has to be in the manga itself because it's past information. Like we don't need to see Hanafuda and Ace interact because I mean, what does that do for the story where it's at now? You know, it doesn't really change anything. Doesn't really, add anything to the Straw Hats in their journey. It just adds to our knowledge as a viewer. The Vivre cards also dropped. Now, the Vivre cards are technically non-canon material. I believe they're made by, I'm not entirely sure on the terms for them, but it's like One Piece fans, or at least enthusiasts that are creating these, and they get some input from Oda as far as I can recall. Obviously, there are certain things that Oda's gonna say, no, you can't reveal that in a Vivre card because that's part of the main story. But there are other things that they come and go based on importance. A lot of this stuff we either already knew or it's kind of just like character lore, like whether it be vital measurements or like, how much alcohol tolerance one of the characters has. It's just like fun stuff to know. Like one of the cool things that we learned from that is that Jinbei actually has the highest alcohol tolerance. And I previously thought that Nami would be holding that. I thought she could hold out a little bit more than Zoro could. Or at least that was kind of like my headcanon, was that of all the people she could drink the most. I think Zoro actually does handle the alcohol better in Whiskey Peak because he's able to start moving around. I think Nami's passed out for a little bit longer. But it's actually Jinbei who has the highest tolerance. And I mean, Jinbei is, he's not old as dirt, but I feel like he's older, he's bigger. I guess it kind of makes sense. It's something I would expect. I liked seeing that Frankie was like among the top 5 though. That was so. So I mean, it's not like pertinent information, but it's fun information. It's kind of cool to just read certain things like that. It's like, oh, that's cool because it's crew interaction. Like, when they're all drinking together, Jinbei, Zoro, Nami, and Frankie are going to be the ones hanging out, drinking the most, talking while everybody else is passed out. That's going to be the squad. Something interesting that came out of the Vivre cards is that they didn't list Zoro having Conqueror's Haki. And it's been a lot of discussion online about whether or not this disproves what the manga gave us. And I mean, again, these are technically non-canon elements. So whether the Vivre cards said that he had Conquerors or not, I don't think that really matters. If he said he had conquerors, we really couldn't go with that because it wasn't stated in the story. But since it is stated in the story and not in the Vivre card, I think that still means it's canon. Like, there's no reason for us to take away what Oda in the manga has told us. It's entirely possible that these cards were made before the reveal, that Oda basically didn't want to reveal it in a card because he wanted to reveal it in the manga. Like, there's no real reason to have any kind of reaction to this kind of reveal. The manga still has Zoro with Conqueror's Haki. We go with that until we're disproven. I mean, you know, people are gonna run around with that. There's plenty of agenda to be had with just that excerpt alone. And even on the card itself, it doesn't mention he has Conqueror's Haki, but it alludes to it. So it's like you're 75% there, you just didn't confirm it. So what are we really talking about here? Not that big a deal. But we're supposed to be getting more Vivre card packs soon. I think one of them is supposed to have Shanks, so we're looking forward to that. We also got the drop for, so it's a promo for volume 109 that focuses on Kuma's backstory. And if you remember a while back, they did a promo for Wano, where basically they take panels from the manga and they kind of make an animation out of it. This one wasn't as fluid as the Wano one, which I kind of wish it was a little more intricate. I wish they would have put the same amount of effort into that one as this, but you know, think about it, Wano was a really big thing for One Piece. So it's understandable. While this is more for like the lore fans that are just part of the series, want the volumes, things like that. But being as it's my favorite character, of course, I would want more put into it. The video is about 6 minutes long. I'm gonna link it in the description below. It's still a really cool video, and going back on it, watching it, it makes me want to go over Kuma's backstory again, which I already wanted to do. But I just really want to immerse myself in that backstory again, because I probably will be reacting to the backstory in the anime, or at least I plan to. But I want to read it again before so. But one of the things I noticed watching that video that I don't think I really caught the first time was that Bonnie drew Kuma's Jolly Roger, essentially. Because on his ship, he has like the word Kuma, but he has the kind of rudely drawn lion in the middle. It's like a lion bear type creature. And that's what he uses for his Jolly Roger. I didn't catch that initially, but after watching this, because they kind of do panel by panel, and they show the panel for drawing it, and then shortly after they show his ship, and it's that same image. I just thought that was a really cool thing to see, and I'm glad that, you know, you can kind of watch this video, and it takes away some of the extra stuff that was in the chapters, and just gives you like a distilled version of Kuma's backstory. And it does a really wonderful thing with the Kuma running panels. Like, you definitely need to check it out. It's very well done. And like I said, that's probably going to be that. I really hope, of all the things they do for Kuma's backstory, I hope they put the most effort into the running part of his backstory. I think that's the most integral part of it. I think that itself is just an overall explanation of the character in its entirety. I feel like that should just have the most attention. It should be the most impactful. I really want to feel that moment in particular. Of course, I want the entire thing to be good, but that moment I really want to hit home. Very excited for that. Like I said in my SBS video, I will be getting the volume because how could I not? It did drop in Japan, but I think we're on 106 in the US, so we got a little bit of time before that drops here. As soon as it comes in, it's getting picked up. But that is going to do it for me. Like I said, we're going to be switching over to season 3 by the time the next chapter drops. Be looking out for that. Check out the main channel, check out the podcast channel, check out all the channels, check out all the content. Appreciate everything you guys do, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.